Lieutenant Sterling Heath. I'm not responsible for what I'm going to say in the next little bit.
One that stands out the most is when we went into an accident and I was in the grunt on his pump, and I went on top of the roof of the pump to bed the lamp, and he told Moody to start going, and I was in the back on top of the pump. It was like -40 and cold. And Morriso was trying to tell him that I was on the pump or on the truck, and he didn't understand Morriso and said, well, go ahead, we'll turn around and I'll come back and get that goofy bastard. And then Morriso was like, no, he's on top of the truck. And he said, I know, I'll come back and get him. And he just said, Moody, go. And Moody started driving. -40, it was so cold I couldn't even face forward. I had to turn around and breathe through my bunker jacket backwards, or else I couldn't breathe. And then finally, I guess Morriso got the point across, and they stopped. And I get in the back of the pump shivering with snotsicles, and he says, Elliot, you goofy bastard, what were you doing on top of the pump? Like it was my fault, hey? Like I was hiding on him.
Well, when we took off, we couldn't resist Danny standing in the middle of the ice. Looked like just a black spot down the white ice, and John decided he was going to buzz him. So he circled, banked the plane over, and we dove down on Danny. And as big a guy as Danny is, standing there looking at us coming, I've never seen a man so agile. He dove, his eyeballs were like saucers, and he laid himself flat in the snow, and he was terrified.
Oh, that wasn't nobody, that was me. Danny ran over me and he sat in the boat laughing. But I never lost my cigarettes, and I still came out of it with the cigarette left.
It was on, I believe it was on Tundra, and we responded to a call. It was about a 16-year-old girl having abdominal pain, and they showed up on scene, and basically the girl was giving birth to a child. And after the delivery of the baby, the dad was kind of like, oh my God, is that a baby? And I remember Danny piping up and saying, well, it ain't a ham sandwich kind of thing. And everybody just kind of like took back and kind of laughed at it a little bit. And you know, it was kind of remarkable, right?
Somebody on the other line apparently said that their cat was stuck in a tree, and he asked the lady, he said, well, is your cat on fire? She said no, and he said, we'll call somebody else, and hung up the phone.
Yeah, I remember one time we were called to a fire on the side of the highway. We pull up and it was like a little, like some sticks burning, and someone suggested we just pull over the line and put it out, and he's like, no way, watch this. We pull out and we just opened up the outlet of the pump and just sprayed water on. He's like, that's how you put out a fire.
We went to just some lame alarms call, and there was this laborer there and who set the alarm off, and Reesik says to him, who's the boss here? And before the guy could even get a word out, Reesik said, because I'm the boss here. The guy, bat.
Says, how you doing this morning, Parker? So I'm doing good, Cap. How are you? And Dennis was helping me make coffee. He says, how about you, Roger? And Dennis looks around the corner and goes, what? What'd you call me? And Cap says, Roger. And Dennis just loses his mind. This guy's been here for 10 minutes and you know his name, but I've been here for 2 tours and you can't remember mine.
Lo and behold, this little bear comes up. Danny is trying to pet it. It's only about 6-8 inches from his crotch. Not realizing it, he had a few more wobbly pops than I did. Not realizing that the bear was that close until the next day we explained it to him and showed him some of the pictures from the digital. From that point on, we stayed away.
But we were in this, like this, it was a condo type fire, and we were in the front room, and the couch had flipped up on its side like this, and the fire was in behind that couch, and here's me and this other guy squirting water like crazy onto this couch until finally Danny came up to us, grabs the nozzle, drags us in there, puts a little bit, like 2 gallons of water on the fire, and it goes out.
Well, he started getting a little excitable and combative with us and that, and there's myself and a couple other medics and firefighters working, and Captain Dan controlled the scene by just stretching out his arm, and he slammed everybody against the truck, and he had everybody all pinned, and he says, okay, scene's controlled, let's deal with it. So yeah, pretty strong guy.
We were out in the bay one day training with a couple of the guys, putting on bunker gear, and one of our guys was having trouble putting his gloves on. And Captain Dan came around the corner, saw this guy having trouble, and he said, "What the hell is going on here?" Not in those words. And he said, "You look like a bear cub jerking off."
So Captain says, "Jesus Christ, what the hell is that? Parker, go check that out." So I went into the training room and there was Regis hacking out a pancreas. And he comes back out and I said, "Captain's kind of worried about you. Are you alright?" And Regis comes out and goes, "Oh, it's okay, Captain. Just a little tickle." That Captain to this day still, he gets tears in his eyes at that one. That was a good one.
I'll say one thing to Dan's credit. He saved my bacon more than once. He knows what I'm talking about.